a lack of options in the Galway attack. But Aidan Hart, Pádraig Mannion, Daithí Burke have never given up as that ball sails high and sails between the posts. Really good point. Full credit. Andy Smith.
Yeah, very good score, Aidan Hart. Lovely ball up the wing, and that's a great strike from out near the sideline in the middle of the field from Andy Smith.
Paul Killeen is on for Galway as Micheál Donoghue makes further changes. And off is John Handry, who obviously picked up an injury. Four minutes left, 5 points between the teams. Walter Walsh battling on this occasion. He's over there. Guess who's gone inside? It's Richie Hogan, but TJ Reid, with almost his back to goal, sends it straight between the posts. The All-Ireland champions are in a different class at this stage.
Yeah, that's a great score. The way he powered of him just to shake off the tackle and just to have the awareness of where the posts are. Great score again by TJ.
Every ball being contested, low ball, high ball, send it in whatever way you like. But right now the Kilkenny defence are coming to terms with it.
Yeah, wild pull there, but Richie Hogan was behind Paul Killeen there, and he's going to get a yellow card for that.
Richie Hogan acknowledging the infringement but picking up a yellow card for that challenge.
You can just see the whole Kilkenny team going. Just watch this wild swing here from behind, and definitely a yellow card. But Joey Holden, after making a couple of great catches there in the second half as well, a player that maybe hadn't great form come into the match, but had an outstanding second half here as well.
Ball, testing ball again for the Galway defence. Picked up by Richie Hogan. Good block down by Paul Killeen. Rebound comes back to Richie. Difficult angle. My word. Planted it between the posts. He has been unstoppable almost. Every time he gets the ball, the umpire, I think, is almost bending towards the white flag.
Yeah, it was a great touchdown by John Power initially, but you were just about to praise Paul Killeen for a great block down, stuck to his task, and then he just drifts off him again. And there's the block down, well played, but his confidence is sky high, and he's really had a point to prove. Great management again by Cody, but great reaction by Richie Hogan. Shows you the type of competitor that he is. No sulking, just gets on with it.
Gerard McInerney, under pressure, loses the possession. TJ Reid and Richie Hogan between them, up tremendous determination by Michael Finnelly. Pádraig Mannion fires Aidan Hart. In comes the challenge from TJ Reid. You don't get time to look around at the scenery in Croke Park when you're playing Kilkenny. You've got to be fast and efficient. Aidan Hart's intended pass is a poor one. TJ Reid, rather surprisingly, gives the ball away. In towards Conor Cooney. Tends to go left, then goes right, and he will score his third point of the match. But it's a little too late at this stage, I would suggest.
Yeah, good score though, and that's 11 points from play from the Galway full forward line that was picked to play there. Conor Whelan had 3, Cathal Mannion 5, and Conor Cooney 3. They haven't played there for the whole game, obviously. There's, great performance by some of them. But, if you weren't at this match today and you saw the scoreline, you'd say, same old, same old. But it has been a close match, but Kilkenny just came up in another gear, and here's Conor Fogarty. He's at his third point of the day.
Conor Fogarty with his third. As Kilkenny unquestionably hold on to that Bob O'Keefe Cup and will win the trophy and the title for the 71st time in their history. Remarkable. Pick up here by Cyril Donlan outside the Kilkenny 45, and that looks like it went straight over the black spot. Full credit to Galway.
You've been playing in a Leinster final. What was that like?
It was a brilliant experience. It's something you dream of when you're a young lad and coming up along, and to be out in the field there, it was a great feeling for me, and an honour to represent Kilkenny.
You weren't just out in the field though, it was your goal that was the catalyst really to this victory, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose it was what was between it for a while. But, Conor Fogarty made a great run through and popped it off and probably mishit it, I suppose, but kind of threw the keeper off, and goes in and counts the same as Screamer.
The defence for Galway though seemed to be very difficult to break down for large periods of that, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, went in at half time, lucky to be probably 3 points behind. You know, the ball was coming out way too easy from our forward line the first half, and you know, something we looked at half time and said we'd work ourselves to the end in the second half.
Was there a little bit of anger and maybe some shouting at half-time?
Nothing really. You know, lads are used to the same situation as we were in last year, and you know, it's not a situation you want to get used to, but you know, we're delighted to come out on top, and you know, lads have been there before and pushed it on, and you know, delighted with the win.
Well done, John.
Turning to Kilkenny, the winning captain, Leinster Ryan from Clara, lifts the cup. It celebrates another 3 in a row for Kilkenny.
Bit at half time, but they came out, you know, they came up trumps again, and you know, time and time again, I think they built such a platform in that second half. Their half back time, they just shut up shop back there. They pushed on, they made some vital changes. Some guys weren't in the game, you know, that's Brian Cody. Out you come, someone else goes in, and his changes worked. John Power and Richie Hogan especially made a huge impact in that second half. But ultimately, you know, their midfield pairing of Michael Fennelly and Conor Fogarty, they really roared into that second half in that first 15 minutes and pushed on. And full value for their win in the finish, you know.
They were, and I suppose the other thing about it as well, Donal, is, you know, at the start of, and we talked about this at the beginning of the programme, at the start of this year, everybody is assessing Kilkenny. Can they go another year? Can they do it again? I think that's an indication that, yes, they can.
Well, you can say they're functional or whatever, Michael, but let's be quite honest, you know, when the chips are down, they know how to win. And that's, you know, they're talking last night about Germany in the Euros like that. They know how to win. And, you know, backs to the wall, in at half-time, in comes Richie Hogan, in comes John Power, and they brought a new dimension, particularly to the work ethic that they have, right? You know, and that's one thing that we don't always look at, like, but really, they upped the ante and they caught Galway, and Galway just didn't have the wherewithal to push on for the rest of the second half.
People will reference this match. And
just another accolade to add to a swelled cabinet that Brian Cody already has. They're a superb team.
Do you know who won the other 3, by the way, out of curiosity?
Galway have a few anyway. Yeah. I'm not sure who was the other one.
Yeah. J-Lo got 1, and Wexford and Galway got 1.
I didn't know that one.
How bad? Yeah. Did he never mention it to you?
No. I got a text a while ago.
What did you make of the match anyway?
It was a decent game, in fairness. I mean, it was almost a cliche game of 2 halves. Galway started so well and Kilkenny came into it. Massive scoring, 126 to 22 points. Great scores, up and down the field. Fantastic individual displays. Tactical stuff at the start from Galway that went well for them, and then in the second half, obviously Kilkenny up the ante. But a good game, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
When Galway had the 5-point lead, did you think it could be on?
Yeah, and I think the 2 points before half-time, Des, were crucial.
That Kilkenny got back?
Yeah, do you know, it just brings it back to the 3 and 1 score game, and you could, like, instead of kicking on maybe and going 6 ahead, you know, they allowed those 2 points, and I think they were crucial scores in the overall picture, because obviously we know the way it was very like last year's All-Ireland final. To be honest, they just upped it another notch. Like, I mean, they're incredible.
One day it's not going to happen.
Yeah, eventually, I suppose,
maybe,
yeah.
Perhaps. Well, take us through that good start Galway had, Johnny.
Yeah, well, they came out of the traps at 100 miles an hour, I mean, they got great scores. First score after a minute from Joe Cooney, and they swarmed it, the Kilkenny attack at every opportunity. Any opportunity that Kilkenny had to score, they were all over them. And there's examples coming up here now very early on where, you know, you can see that it was just man for man, but also there was an excess amount there. You could see that Davy Glennon was back there. They weren't making it easy for the guys to pick up. Colin Fennelly, experienced players under pressure, forcing it out to the wing. Again, Fogarty, who would expect to snap it up. He came into the game later on. Lester Ryan, normally very composed in these situations, but Niall Burke tracked back brilliantly. A poor shot, I suppose, across. But if you slow it here and look at the number of guys that were behind, you kind of 8 versus 4 or something. It was incredible stuff, swarming back in huge numbers. And here then, a bit of composure. The thing when you do get your man in free space like Aidan Hart here is give a good ball. Bring it into the guys in the danger zone. And one of those all day today was Colin Mannion, a super score off his left hand. So they came out of the blocks at 100 miles an hour, and everything they did in the first half was positive.
Yeah. But Kilkenny then, it all changed in the second half.
Yeah, I just love 10 minutes of that 15 minutes they have in the dressing room. They're incredible. And again, Cody, you know, whips off Larkin, whips off Colin Fennelly. Who else could do it, you know? But when you can bring on Richie Hogan and bring on John Power, that makes an awful difference, you know. And look, within 21 seconds, Richie Hogan just out in front of his man, showing for the ball. Actually, John Powers, the other player in picture here, looking for the ball as well. But 21 seconds in, here, I'm back. I want my place back in this team. And like, what a performance he put in. And he actually set the tone. Like, you see Davy Glennon here, you just can't stand at this level, Des, to strike, you know, with Kilkenny guys around you. And it's a juvenile mistake, but they really upped the intensity. You see 3 of them surrounding Conor Cooney here. And even though Galway were still fighting very hard at that stage, unlucky probably not to get a free there, Richie himself, but Conor Cooney clears, it comes back, Cillian Buckley head up, Fogarty immense all day, lands a massive one, and you know, they were setting the tone right from the get-go of the second half. And
yet for Galway, Shani, the goal was a sickener. You know, and the fact that it was not struck maybe as sweetly as he would have wanted to add to that. Galway had a chance as well, but they were key moments, weren't they?
They were huge moments, and it's an instance like this that you want your key player stepping up. Conor Fogarty takes the ball on, loops the pass, doesn't hand pass it, loops it over to John Joe Farrell, who picked up again from the last day. Great shot along the ground and a great finish.
In contrast, is I suppose they took their goal chance, maybe they maybe got 1 or 2 more. David Glennon, to his credit on this occasion, moves with the ball. Incredible defending here. Owen Murphy, Joe throws the hand pass into Cyril Donlan. Good hand pass. Cyril Donlan needs to get a touch, but Murphy off the line, and what a flick off the line by Cillian Buckley. Like, I mean, good number 7 should be able to do that. Get back there and flick him off the line. Like, when you're under pressure,
you could.
Wouldn't be anywhere near it. But what defending? Sure. They just weren't allowing a goal. There was no. They were just ruthless in that second half again, like we've become so accustomed to.
It's a gutsy effort from Galway, but it was similar to the final, as you said, and yet the players wanted rid of the manager after that. Is that going to be a question mark now?
Look, I suppose at the end of the day, the chance was there for him to up it. I don't think you can, blame managers in this situation. Players crossed the line. It's up to the players to deliver. And in the first half, they were doing everything right. They were battling very hard. They were getting great scores. I mean, Anthony mentioned him earlier. Joe Canning was very quiet today, to be honest. It is expected more from him.
Yeah, a lot of the leaders, and who knows who the leaders were to get rid of Anthony. We don't really know. You hear stories, but it was some of their younger players stood up to the mark today. I mean, Mannion,
Conor Whelan was very good.
Conor Whelan showed. They got 10 points on the inside line, which will be a small bit of a concern for Brian going forward. And teams will have looked at that. And I mean, it's hard to get at them, but 10 points on the inside line. But you'd nearly need to be putting a goal or 2 with it, wouldn't you? If you're going to take them out, you nearly need to be putting 2 green flags.
OK. Who are our nominees then for man of the match?
Yeah, Des. I mean, Kilkenny, obviously, we thought at half-time maybe it'd be a bit different, but, huge mention for Richie Hogan. Turned the game in lots of ways from half-time. Murphy again, cornerback. Cillian Buckley. I thought Dahi Burke, great game, for Galway. Really did his job. Stuck to TJ Reid as long as he could. But ultimately, our nominations are Conor Fogarty. Really, right from the get-go, he was probably, Kilkenny's guy that he was sticking with it all the way through. John Joe Farrell, I mean, one of the stories, the Jerry Aylward of the year already, 1-4 again today, following on from 1-5. And we have to call Mannion 5 points from play a corner forward for Galway. I thought really, stood up to the plate today, got stuck in and took the game to Kilkenny when they needed somebody to do it.
All right, Shani, from that extensive list of players, who gets man of the match?
In the end, we went with Conor Fogarty. He just put in an awesome performance. I suppose his CV over the last number of years has been made up of predominantly hooks and blocks, defensive. But today he was just immense. He got great scores, set up the goal, and he's a worthy winner. He had a fantastic hour.
All right. The Fogartys have certainly been in the news this week. Well done to Conor then. Let's hear from him now.
Conor, congratulations. Richie was talking about the importance of not having to go through the back door. Is that something that you've talked about and that is something really important?
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose our main aim coming up here today was to win the Leinster final and go straight into an All-Ireland semi-final. So it was a huge achievement for us today. We knew what Galway were going to bring, the savage challenge, and like the All-Ireland last year, they posed up to us in the first half. And we had to up our game the second half, and luckily enough we did and came out on top.
What can you remember of your involvement in the all-important goal?
I suppose the boys broke down a ball, and look, I was just lucky to latch onto a ball there and carry it through. And thank God it went through to John Joe, and John Joe's on fire and stuck it away. So it was great. It was a great boost, and it was badly needed at the time.
It seems to be a lot of luck, according to you, Kilkenny boys. I think there was more in it than that. Well, Conor, you are the Etihad RT man of the match, and we have Beatrice Cosgrove from Etihad here with your award. Congratulations.